Hey, great day, Tribe Ball. Welcome to the House of Cons. I'm Blackjack. Hey, salute the legend of Naga Charlie in the house. Salute. Tribe up all the real Nagas in the house. Go on and hit that like button, subscribe, share the video, my Naga. I hope everybody doing good, feeling good. I hope you're blessed. I hope your family blessed. We tribing up one more time on the Sunday night. Doing the double hitter, second show, the evening show. Title of this one is White Lies in American History. White Lies in American History, Managa.
Big dummy.
And we had that thumbnail rolling for the intro, showing a little bit about these white lies in American history. Yeah, we'll take a look at it one more time, and we're gonna show y'all where we get it from in a second. But let's just take a look. They always trying to redo your image, my nigga. Why are they always trying to remix your image? They always trying to, these people body snatchers, imposters. You know, they posers. Look at this. Clear to see they trying to imitate the Naga. But why, my Naga, why? Have you ever asked yourself why they whitewash your images so much? Why are there so many images of you and then someone else trying to be you? I'm just saying, have you ever asked yourself, have you ever pondered why? I think we know why. Let me take a closer look at this image from the thumbnail. We see on the left, it says Selvagens. Looks like savage, right? It says Selvages, my naga. And on the right, it says Civilizados. I guess civilized. Oh, savages on the left and then civilized on the right, right? Or they gotta white you out to civilize you. They gotta assimilate you. Yeah, they got you know the whitening of American history, my naga. You know, the white out, right? They said we gotta lighten you nagas up. You got a little bit too much so you're looking like a savage. So I guess savage is directly related to and whitening is directly related to civilizado and native civilization. Interesting, very interesting. So the savages are the dark people, the dark races, right? Or the so-called Negro.
Au bon sauvage. Au négré l'Amérique.
So the savage is just another word for nigger, huh? Or Negro. Or black. Or even Indian, right? Because we know indios and indigo is another word for black, right? So the savages is blacks and the whites are civilized, huh? In their eyes, huh? Yeah. White lies in American history. Salute. We're gonna talk about it. How y'all doing, man? Let's get into it one more time on Blackjack. Let's get into it. So we've been relating this savage thing for quite some time now. You know, we don't become experts on what the French call the bone savage, the L'Amérique Nigre,
Au goût sauvage. Au Négré la
Nigre L'Amérique. You know, we done educated ourselves on that, right? We know all about that. But we're gonna look deeper. We're gonna look deeper, just some more proofs in the pudding, and we're gonna show y'all where we got that image from. Let's take a look at the source real quick. Right now we on it's a funny little site, y'all. This site is a foreign site. I had to translate it in English. It's G1. Like the let me scroll it down where y'all can see the website. See what the website is? G1.global.com. G1.global.com. That's the website itself that we about to investigate real quick. And the title of this particular article is USP study. USP US something, United States P. What the P for? USP study shows that comedians strengthen whitening of Brazilian society with racist jokes. Or they wanted to whiten the Brazilian society. They say these niggas too dark over here. This stronghold of the naga, they say too much. They say we need to whiten this. And you know, it was social programming. It was brainwashing. You know, they had stuff going on like gender wars, making the Nagas don't like each other, making Nagas can't get along, making men and black Nagas, Negro men and women can't even get along. They got Nagas out here talking about swirling, doing all kind of foolish stuff. You know, breeding with beasts. You know, breeding with the others, breeding with mankind. My Naga, I refuse. I stick to the script, my Naga. I stick with my clique, my Naga. I refuse to breed with some Neanderthal, Denisovan, monkey man. If it ain't American Naga, I ain't effing with it. That's just me, my Naga. So it says USP study shows comedians strengthen the whitening of Brazilian. They use jokes, racist jokes. They say hi them. They had racist jokes. Niglet, this and that. 203 low gang in the house. Salute. They called you all kind of stuff. They say yeah, them old nigglets. They got you feeling down, beaten down, and downtrodden like nobody don't want to be a niglet, right? Talking bad about you. They got you not liking each other, wanting to whitening it up, whitening up Brazilian society. Racist jokes, right? And then they get mad because I be cracking jokes over here. Please. Say Professor Dr. Maria Marguerite dos Santos Benedicto analyzed humorous publications aimed at the literate class during the construction of the Brazilian identity. During the construction of the Brazilian identity, what they mean? The Brazilians had an identity since creation, and it was the Naga. What they mean constructing a new Brazilian identity? Shortly after the proclamation of the Republic, when the government adopted measures in favor of miscegenation, right? The government adopted measures in favor of miscegenation, my Naga. They wanted to whiten the Nagas. Did you see this? Did you see what we're reading here? Y'all know what miscegenation mean, right? Let's put it up for anybody that don't know. And I ain't even mad at nobody that don't know. You know what I'm saying? I know they trying to keep you down. They trying to dumb you down, want to keep you ignorant. Let's put in miscegenation to show everybody what it means. Miscegenation, sexual relationships or reproduction between people of different ethnic groups, especially when one of them is white. So you see this. They see the government wanted to mix you out. The Naga wasn't trying to get mixed out. See this? The whitening of Brazilian society. They had racist jokes to try to help influence it. Got Naga swirling. Say Professor Dr. Maria Marguerite dos Santos Benedicto analyzed humorous publications aimed at the literate class during the construction of Brazilian identity. They wanted to construct a new Brazilian identity, say whiten it up. Shortly after the proclamation of the Republic, when the government adopted measures in favor of miscegenation, they say water these Nagas down, whiten them up. They say blend them with Europeans, mix them out. The pain of the Jews shocks ours becomes a joke, says rapper Emma Cedar's verse that for a teacher sums up her thesis. I don't really understand all of that. She talks. They got Jews in there somehow though. But look at this. Okay, here go the jokes. Look at here. Look at this. Whiten them on up, right? They got it in Spanish. What it says: cartoon published in the magazine in 1925 shows dialogue between black woman and Mr. Portuguese. Look it up. They want to swirl and knot, right? They want to get old with old Portuguese. Lil Monog in the house, salute. Robin Nelson in the house, salute. Ern Jordan in the house, salute. Tribe up. Yeah, they say, yeah, the black man, they say that nigga, he ain't nothing. Look, they say, come over here with me, Mr. Neanderthal, Mr. Mankind, not even the original man. They say, come over here with me and mix it on out, black woman. They say, forget tribing up with your own, having 4, 5, 6, 10 little knockers. Forget that. You come tribe up with me. You know, I give you some fiat, some cash, some colonizer cash, so you buy nice material worldly things. You know, we'll do that. Look what they're doing. They influencing it, right? They say we'll bring the welfare state, everything to make you hate, to make you start saying that naga ain't shit. The black man, calling the black man, say the black man ain't shit, right? They influencing it, right? A researcher from the Department of History, they try to mix Nagas out, and Nagas don't even see it right in your eyes. They writing about it and all, putting it in your face, telling you, yeah, we want this gender war going. We want to fuel this thing. We want you Nagas arguing. Stop making black babies, especially a lot of them. Make mixed babies now. Mix yourself out. That's what they telling you here. A researcher from the Department of History of the University of Sao Paulo, USP, identified that the humor practiced by the intellectual elite in the post-slavery period strongly contributed to the maintenance of racism and even to the whitening of Brazilian society. Okay, they brought up slavery, right? And the white, they say post-slavery, after slavery, the intellectual elite after slavery, post-slavery, strongly contributed to the maintenance of racism, keeping it racist, right? And even to the whitening of Brazilian society. So let's recall who exactly was they enslaving in Brazil. Let's recall who the real black slaves of Brazil, right? And this is at www. Y'all can go to the community post. Y'all gonna have to stroll down and see this. They go to the link right there. You can click on it if you want to pull up the source yourself. Will tell you the Portuguese crown. What? The Portuguese, right? Who was they just talking about in here? Let's say Sao Paulo, the humor practice contributed to maintenance and the whitening of Brazilian society. Who they say was over here? Hold on, wait a minute. In the Republic, Santos Benedicto. They talking about the Spaniards, right? Yeah, they talking about Portugal and all that. That's the Spaniards. That's the same people. So let's go back to that one more time. See who they was enslaved, and they talking about right after slavery, right? They say the crown was divided considering indigenous people as subjects. It was legally and morally unacceptable to enslave them, but reality dictated that need. It was legally and morally unacceptable to enslave the indigenous people, so you start calling them Africans. But reality dictated that need. The colony's value, that's how you get around it, call them, say they from somewhere else. The colony's value was increasingly centered on large-scale sugar production, and this, in order to be profitable, required a large contingent of slave workers. As in Brazil, there was a great possibility of using indigenous people as labor. Not no great possibility, it was who they used, the indigenous people. They say in Brazil, it was a great possibility to use indigenous people as slave laborers, and the planters did not have no damn money to import Africans. The best option was just to use the indigenous people. I'm telling you right there, the source listed if you want to go look it up for yourself. It's a government source. They wasn't using no Africans. They ain't have money to take their stupid ass to Africa and go get nobody. They used the people that was right there in Brazil, the indigenous people. So let's go back. Because they talking about whitening them on up, especially after slavery, and contributing to the racism. So who was the indigenous people? They was blacks, or so-called Negro, right?
Darkness, everybody! Darkness is spreading!
You got no Africans. Don't believe that bullshit. They ain't never brought no African to Brazil, period. In the study, Quadrara, or whatever that say, who laughed, the blacks who weren't, look at that, the blacks, right? Who weren't the prophet Dr. Whatever her name is, F that B, states that the first decades after the proclamation of the Republic in 1889 were marked by the search for a national identity, by the intensification of urban activity, and above all, by social instability, with most of the population in poverty, informed by newly freed slaves, indigenous slaves, indigenous people, Managa, and that you want to whitewash them out. According to Maria Margaret, at that time, the political and intellectual elite really focused on the black problem, the black problem, the Naga problem, right? So they focused on it. And part of it effectively bet on the whitening of society through miscegenation and laws. And what was miscegenation again? They say, you know how we're going to deal with this Naga problem? Through miscegenation, sexual relationships, or reproduction between people of different ethnic groups, especially with white ones. Now they calling themselves Indians. I wouldn't dare mix with one of them dogs. I wouldn't dare lay down with a dog. You get up with fleas, Managa. Lay down with a Neanderthal, Managa. You lay down with a beast. You sinning against your temple, Managa. The black problem. Whitening of the society through miscegenation and laws, which encouraged the immigration of European settlers. Look at that. Oh, what a coinkydink. What, on convict ships, indentured servants, indentured slaves, so that the black race could be reduced in 3 generations. They say we can reduce them in 3 generations. They say by the time they grandmama, the daughter, the grandmama, the mama, then the daughter, we can reduce these Nagas way down. We can get their numbers low. We can deal with this Naga problem through miscegenation, through sexual reproduction. They say we're talking about a tribe enough. We'll put the Nagas on child support. We'll bring in the welfare state. We'll tell them it's too expensive to have a big tribe. Make sense. Too expensive to have a big tribe. Man, if you could tribe up with a woman, and if you're a woman, you can tribe with a man. If y'all can have 20 children, you should do it. The Most High said be fruitful. He didn't say be rich, Managa. You in the promised land, Managa. It's enough here for you and yours, Managa. I don't want to hear about nobody ain't got enough money to do nothing. You're a sacrificer. You gonna sacrifice a baby Naga over colonize $1? I don't want to hear that. Nagas need to tribe up, Managa. You see what they doing to you. You see what your enemy trying to beat you at. And y'all Nagas think it's a game. When I say tribe up, I mean that. When I say tribe up, I mean get with a Naga and build a large family in your youth. That's what you're supposed to be doing, Managa. The Most High say be fruitful. Everything else will work out. Everything else will work out, Managa. Can't fall for this miscegenation. You should not be mixing and breeding with these other people. You know, you mix with them, that's one less pure piece of you. I'm just saying, you can do what you want, Managa. I ain't knocking nobody for doing what they want. But if you want to understand the real, if you want to understand the truth, then you ain't in your feelings, well, here it go right in your face. They told you they trying to whiten you, especially in Brazil and all through the Americas. Trying to whiten it all up to mix you out through miscegenation and laws. And they saying the people that ain't willing to mix, we're going to call them Africans or African Americans. So they want to mix you out. They say they want to encourage you to breed with some funky ass European settlers that be having lice and all kind of other shit that you don't even get. They're a whole different species of people. They're not the same as you. You are original man. How dare you disrespect the Most High when the Most High made you, Managa? You want to lay with a beast. Call it what it is. Brian Flat Power God in the house. Salute. One gentleman in the house. Salute. Tribe up. I'm just saying, we tried up for real over here, and the tribe look like us. We ain't letting outsiders in the tribe. I don't care who they are, who they look like. I don't even care if they down for us. I'm just saying, they can be down for us over there. We ain't mixing out and breeding in. I'd just rather not at all. It say the professor recalls that the period was described by the scholar Abdias do Nascimento as the materialization of institutional racism. Through extensive research and access to rare historical documents, the professor identified that the magazines of the time, which presented the first satirical texts and cartoons produced and aimed at the literate class, strengthening this ideology in the way blacks were represented. What we learn in the books is a Eurocentric history with political and social issues of Europe. So I could only suspect that the intellectual elite of that time were racist, which was proven in the amount of material I found in my research in scattered sources. And this documentation was clear. The commitment to whitening the nation. It was racism there. Literally racism. The teacher told G1. See, that's why I told y'all a lot of research I do is based on racism. Because that's where the truth lay. How you know the Naga was the indigenous Brazilian? Because they got so much racist literature against them. That's how you know. That's how you know it wasn't no red man. They ain't got all the racist literature against red man. They wasn't calling no fake ass red man a noble savage. All of it against the Naga. The proof is in this man right here see the same thing I see. He's a teacher. He say the teacher told you one. Literally, it was racism. That's where it all lied. It proved the whitening of a whole nation, of a whole black nation, a whitening of a black Brazilian nation through racism. There's a verse by the composer Emicida that sums up my thesis and says the pain of the Jews' shock, ours becomes a joke. Dang, I need to dig into that, man. They mentioned that again. What does that mean? Then they show this. Man, I'm gonna dig on this with some more, y'all. I wasn't ready for this. It just was a part of this, but I ain't even wasn't ready for this. I ain't analyzed yet from a third eye point of view. So like I'm just glossing over it, my Naga. If you aware of this, be welcome to speak of it in the chat. But this is what this. There is a verse by the composer, a verse like a song verse that sums up my thesis and says, the pain of the Jews shocks, ours becomes a joke. Ours becomes. Oh, the pain of the Jews shocks. Like, okay, the fake, the fake Holocaust, it shocks people, but ours becomes a joke. Yeah, the Israelites' real pain becomes a joke, huh? What they say? Shul National. Said something like that, yeah. Alright. Ula National something. Okay. In the cartoon, yeah, uses the name of a type of coat to refer to the skin tone of a black woman. Oh, okay. In this cartoon, published in 1917, he using the name of a type of coat to refer to the skin tone of a sister, right? Okay. Alright. So the cartoon boy was named National Cold. Oh, he called the cold. Okay. They got jokes. Another roast, huh? So don't get mad when I'm calling your monkey ass a Neanderthal. You fake ass wannabe, you fake, you ain't even no real man. You a beast. You a Neanderthal. You ain't even one of us. You ain't even original man. You grow tails and horns and all kind of other shit. And scoliosis and humpback. And you be having children with two heads, and you be having children with all kinds of defectives. You know what I'm saying? You don't let me start on that. So you want to call us, you want to call her cold, huh? National Cold. Because cold is a type of cold and was used as a reference to the color of the skin of black woman. In the illustration, although elegantly dressed, the woman still asks, is it a shovel cooking? To which the white industrialist replies, it's for everything, my denial for everything. Yeah, she dressed nicer than his monkey ass. He's probably smelling like a funky Frenchman. Yeah. Mama got on furs. She got on sleeves. Gloves. She don't even touch my hand, you peasant. You peasant dog. You peasant dog. Don't even touch me. I said she should have smacked. She took the glove off and smacked him with the glove. These people want to be mad at us and then get mad for some of the stuff I say. Get out your feelings. Cause I ain't mad. I already know you calling us cold and stuff, so I'm gonna roast your ass back. And I'm gonna roast your descendants. So if you in here now, you calling out the descendants and you in the chat, I'm gonna roast your ass. Hey, let us note that the costume, the jewelry, the bag, the hairstyles of the hair, which is no longer curly, but curly due to the process of miscegenation. Look at that. They say, get this hair straight. You got all these old tobacco statues with these nappy headed Nagas. We got to get rid of that. We need some straight haired Indians. Look at that, through miscegenation, right? It's the aesthetic representation inspired by the European model, and also does not cease to be a representation of the eugenic process. See, I told y'all, eugenics. of cleansing through which it passed, Maria Marguerite wrote in the study. I was like, when I see these swirlers, I see these brothers out here with these other people, I just look at them as a eugenics project. You know what I'm saying? I look at them as just a brainwashed ass eugenics project. They say you can't help who you love, damn me. Damn that. I look at theirs as a eugenics science project. Walking eugenics project of cleansing and miscegenation going on. And they don't even know it. The illustrations appear in the magazine The Quixote, owned by Manuel Bastos Tigre, who was also director of the publication. According to the researchers, the magazine marked the typical affectation of the period called Belle Epoque, while reinforcing stereotypes through cartoons, often representing black people in a submissive, naive, and uneducated way, as well as demarcating the social places that should be occupied by them. Look at that, the social places that should be occupied by them. Okay. Yeah, they want to demean you, my naga. What this one says, cartoon taking what it says, magazine, and addressed to the Brazilian literate class, reinforced propaganda, racism. Yeah. Above Chiquinho, that ain't no African name. The football player who could not be marred if the game was at night. Oh, they got jokes. They call him. They saying you couldn't even see this naga. He was so black. They got jokes. Y'all see that? They say above Chiquinho, the football player who could not be marred or seen if the game was at night, right? Below, a cigar full of cigars marks the elegant black man. Toot, whatever. All full of himself. Oh, okay. They got jokes. Cheap to dig in the house. Salute tribe up. Steven Scoob in the house. Tribe. Hey, damn, Steven Scoob ain't got no wrench. Let me get a wrench. Steven Scoob to right now, man. I'm slacking. My naga Steven Scoob ain't got no wrench. I'm slacking. My bad, Steve. Steve, you must ain't been on the live, man. I gotta catch on. I gotta catch you in the live to give you that wrench. And anybody that want to become a member, cause Maxine Cross, salute to Maxine Cross. Maxine Cross tried up on the membership. 2 shots for Maxine Cross. She hit me up early in the chat and she was like, how do I become a member? Alright, the easiest way is when we're doing these live streams down there in the chat where you be putting your chat at, you have to hit the $sign and then it'll give you a little button that say memberships, and it'll show you the different ways you can be a member. That's so anybody that want to become a member, that's how you do it. That's the easy way to do it. Alright, let's get back to the mission. Alright, it say, and save be below 2 white men talk, fake skinny wrong. It is a false black, revealing a good functioning of the whitening policy, which will culminate in the mulatto. See, look at this. See, they wanna lighten you up, right? They want you to get that straight hair, Managa. Like we already got yellow bone. We ain't gotta mix with them to get yellow bone. Like I say, shit, we got relatives that's yellow bone just cause they yellow bone. They ain't got nothing to do with no other people. Like my man, please, man. They wanna miscegenate you, Managa. They wanna join the tribe. They wanna get adopted into the tribe, Managa, so they can say that they're indigenous, Managa. They fake people, man. These mankind. Even if they breed with a Tamaricon, they'll never be an original man. You'll never be an original man. You are what you are. You will never be one of us. I don't care. The published illustration also showed that the black employees will be taking advantage of generous employees who offer them confidence while complaining, were unwilling to work and gossiping, always dressed in aprons even when unemployed. Okay, they got jokes. Okay, they all got a lot to say, huh? Satirical sinus. Let me stroll down some more. I'm gonna skip some of this. We ain't gonna even read all this. I got some more I want to show y'all. Yeah, oh, we might have gone to finish it. We at the end. We're going to finish it. I knew it was kind of long. Satirical sinus. Although many intellectuals of the period have left these traces of racism and humor, Professor Maria Marguerite's study focuses on 3 well-known characters of the period. In addition to Manuel Bastos Tigre, owner and director of the magazine presented above, she also analyzed the works of Antonio Torres and Emilio de Menezes, who wrote satirical texts published in the print media. According to the research, Antonio presented himself as a mulatto, but revealed in his text that he considered the Europeans civilized. In the satirical text, The Victory of Mulattoes, published in 1917 in the magazine, he denounces ironically the flaws that his contemporaries would be trying to hide. In the City Hall, we have honor of that race. In the Senate, in addition to Dr. Correa, who is a mulatto in disguise, we have the young Eloy de Souza, who just declared that he could not live with less than 100,000 kings a day. This is the perfect kind of smelly mulatto, he wrote, who also went so far as to describe Waldo Rio, a member of the Brazilian Academy of Letters, as someone who called himself a nobleman despite his Ethiopian Biokra and his, so he must have been black. They called him Ethiopian. He must have been dog. See what they doing here? My great surprise was to discover that Antonio Torresi was black, and to realize that he is the symbol of what whitening and miscegenation did to part of the black population. Miscegenation, as a social scientist Carlos Moore pointed out, contrary to what was thought, did not reduce racism. In fact, it empowered him. The mestizo in this context ends up assimilating the culture of domineering white, the professor told G1. Now notice they ain't called him African not one time. These are native people, Managa. They miscegenate in the nation, Managa. Similarly, Emilio de Menezes, immortal of the Brazilian Academy of Letters, wrote in 1911 in the magazine A Imprensa about a contemporary of his, a physician and intellectual who had gone to London for a congress. The life of Dr. Lacerda, who wrote that the vast majority of Brazilians are mulattoes, is in danger. That's a lie. The vast majority is not mulattoes. The vast majority of Brazilians are. That's why they talking about it's in danger. Such a great, because Nagas ain't mixing that. Such a great calumny cannot go unpunished. When he arrives, the whites of this land lynch him, and the grandchildren of the blacks eat their livers. Yeah, they're trying to call you cannibal, see? They're trying to call you savage. They will prove that they are blonde and have blue eyes, he sneered. Wow. Moved by the question, can humor contribute to the maintenance of racism in society? Yeah, it can keep the racism going. That's why we got to strike back. You know, they want to roast us and try to keep racism going. All right, we roast back and we roast better. They funky ass, funky Frenchmen and shit. They say concludes that yes, and that although abolition freed slaves, the defect of color persisted in the born republic. The racial status quo was maintained and began to be used to ensure social differences, the researcher wrote. My thesis is not a censorship of humor. It is an analysis of humor. Comedians have the right to do humor, and society has the right not to laugh and to criticize it sometimes. That humor propagated and perpetrated racism and perpetuated racism because laughter, in fact, has a historical essence and a resonance in society. Researcher Maria Marguerite told the report. I'm the youngest child, and I remember when my sister would imply and make me cry in those cases. My mom would say, when one laughs, it's no joke. All right, that was a good article. Yeah, that was a good article. All right, so y'all see, you see, they got jokes on the Naga. It's all good. We ain't mad. We like the roast. Bring it. Bring them corny ass jokes, because you're going to lose. You know what I'm saying? You're going to lose against the Naga. You will not out roast the Naga. We just talking about the Nagas in the Brazil and white lies in American history, my Naga. Miscegenation, the whitening of America. Trying to convince you Nagas to swerve, get mad at each other, all this and that. I wouldn't dare have a colonizer in my house. You know what I'm saying? Like, I look at some of this shit, man, like even child support and family court, I wouldn't dare, my Naga. And my Naga on the string. Right or wrong, I love my sister to death, my Naga. I couldn't cross over. I don't care how fucked up shit is between Nagas. I ain't crossing over my Naga. Hell nah. You know what I'm saying? Hey, them people, man, them people ain't us, man. With the least to be said, man, I'm not mixing y'all, man. I'm not mixing y'all. I'm not doing what they want us to do. I'd rather die off than mix out. I'm just being for real. I'm saying what it is, my Naga, with me. Let's look at some more. There's another source we're gonna look at. This source right here we're looking at, this the Savage Races Illustrated right here. See, hold on, let me drag it down so you can see. See the source I'm clicking on right here, see where my mouse at? See it say the savage races illustrated. But it's funny they ain't showing none of the illustrations. You know what I'm saying? But this is the source though. The Savage Races illustrating this on QUOD.lib.umich.edu, and I had to translate it. They say to print this page, let print blah blah blah. But it's just something I want to show you some drop, because when we talk about these savages,
Au beau sauvage. Au négré la
the
nuit.
noble savage, one more proof that they only talking about black people. They ain't talking about no other people. I'm gonna show you right here. They call the people savages. That's code word for nigga. That's code word for black people. That's code word for
Darkness, everybody. Darkness
savage.
is ready.
So when we know the noble savage is about the noble savage character is about the American Indian, and on Wikipedia, you know how they show you. Okay, let's look at this one more time, and then we'll jump back here. You know how on Wikipedia, when you type in noble savage, they tell you it's for the American Indian, right? But then they try to whitewash it. They try to miscegenate it. They try to fool you again. They try to show you this. A noble savage. And they show you this bullshit right here. This white man. They show this European fake Indian white man. This pretender. This $5 pretender. They say that they calling this a historical painting. The Death of General Wolfe, 1771, features a noble savage Indian. Boom. So boom, they telling you the noble savage is the Indian. But is he a white man? No. He's not a red man either. No, he's a nappy-headed nigga. Look. Enter this, like I say, this source here is called the Savage Races. Let's scroll down. Saturday, July 3rd, 1870, with supplement the Savage Races. For certain races, savagery has been only the first period of a more or less rapid progressive evolution. For others, it seems to be a perpetual infancy, an incurable atrophy of the noble, noble savage, of the noble faculties which are the privilege of our species. Whether this is due wholly to the external circumstances such as climate and soil cannot easily be determined. It is not our province now to examine the causes which have operated, right? Let's scroll down. Look, all right. It is not our province now to examine the causes which have operated to the formation of various races composing the human genus, but simply to give a rapid glance at some of the leading savage and semi-savage races, purposely omitting, however, a description of the pure Negro tribes. Look, Negro tribes, look, see, the pure Negro tribes. They want to say of Africa and of the Indians, right? Negro tribes of Africa and of the Indians of North America. All Negroes, Monaga. These types being sufficiently familiar to the reader, the savage races are often divided into four great groups, such as Kafir warriors, the Negro in Africa, the Malayo-Polynesian in Polynesia of the Negroes, and the Indian Islands of the Negroes. The American, not red Indians, hijack alert. Red flag, hijack alert, not no red man, the Negro. And the Hyperborean, chiefly represented by the Esquimaux. The Negro race may be divided into three principal rights. See, it goes straight to the Negro race. So we know we talking Negroes. Dodge this New Jack red man hijack. That's a hijack. Remember, this is in 1870, Monaga. Let's move on about the Bone Savage. We know they Negro. Races created the noble savage. So if races created the noble savage, this can't be a noble savage, Monaga. How? How could this be a noble savage? How could the American Indian look like this if races created the noble savage character and they tell you the savage was the Negro races? How? You, Monaga. And we got proof after proof. We'll just keep going with the proofs. Get this out of our way. Races created the noble savage. Arthur claims turn was the work of bigots, not Rousseau. The noble savage, long assumed to be the invention of the 18th century philosopher Jean-Jacques Rousseau, was in fact a racist propaganda device of British anthropologists to create a climate where slavery and genocide could be mooted. So they created the climate for slavery and genocide, Monaga. When did white people like this get enslaved, besides the ones that came over on the convict ships called indentured servants or indentured slaves? They wasn't feathered up, Monaga. The claim that Rousseau created the myth was made by one of the 19th century's most notorious racists to give weight to his belief in the notion of inferior races, according to a new book, The Myth of the Noble Savage. Terry Ellingson, associated professor of anthropology at the University of Washington, believes the manipulation of the myth was part of a successful attempt by a fraction of racist anthropologists to take over the anti-racist ethnology society in London in the late 1850s. Rousseau did not promote the idea of the noble savage, nor did he ever mention it. The idea he did is one of the most widespread misbeliefs of all time, said Ellingson. The term noble savage was mentioned a handful of times before Rousseau, most notably by the poet and playwright John Dryden, but Ellingson maintained it had fallen out of use until re-invoked by the racist anthropologist John Crawford in 1859. By attributing the myth to Rousseau, Crawford gave the notion intellectual weight. The myth and the attribution of it to Rousseau was reintroduced by a racist faction in the Ethnological Society of London as part of a coup which aimed to divert the society from its anti-racist pro-human rights roots, said Ellingson. Ellingson maintains that the myth was a vital tool which enabled racist anthropologists such as Crawford to promote the centrality of race as a scientific ideology while advocating violently racist modes of ordering society, like miscegenation, monogamy. Salute. An unbroken 3-month run of racist presentation. Okay, all right. Let's see how much more. We ain't gonna go through all that. We'll read the last little bit, but we ain't gonna read this. Let's say an unbroken 3-month run of racist presentations followed the 1859 coup of the Society's board, and it was in the first of these lectures that Crawford demolished the illusion of savage nobility and denied any non-white race any right to equality, any non-white race. So how could this be a noble savage? He's Snow White, if you ask me. Any so-called Indian calling himself an Indian look like this is Snow White. You are not an Indian. You are not a savage, my nigga. By their terminology. All right, let's continue. If you ain't black, you ain't no savage. By their terminology. Crawford's inaugural address was an announcement of the overthrow of the old ways and the ascendancy of a new anthropological racism and a new supporting mythology, said Ellingson. In his speech, Crawford recited lines from a Dryden play mentioning the noble savage and damned such people as miserable beings. I cannot set much value on his freedom of the being, nor can I conceive anything noble in the poor, naked, crouching creature, trembling with cold and starving from hunger, he said. Such savages are the men whose condition was envied by a very eloquent but very eccentric philosopher of the last century. But I imagine a week's resident, even a night's lodging with the Fuegans, right? The Fuegans, we know that. Del Fuego, my naga. We already did something about the Fuegans. Would have brought Jean-Jacques Rousseau to a severe conclusion. And by the way, Jean-Jacques is a Frenchman. He's a funky Frenchman. Keep that in mind. Who talking about the noble savage right now is a Frenchman. Ellingson believes Crawford was so convincing that the original noble savage myth was forgotten. The mere repetition of the words noble savage sufficed to serve as a devastating weapon against any opposition to the racist agenda. The myth of the noble savage became a weapon in the Ethnological Society's scientific racist project, helping to naturalize a genocidal stance toward the inferior races. So the Frenchman, Jean-Jacques Rousseau, and all these Frenchmen talking noble savage, talking American Indians, right? And then they show you this on Wikipedia, right? And we already know. We already looked at plenty French noble savage clocks. We'll do it one more time before we jump to the next thing I wanted to go to, just for the new people that don't know the French noble savage clocks, right? All my knockers that been here know. By the Frenchmen wrote this article. So let's see what the French really said. What the noble savages look like. The noble savage American Indians. Let's show everybody what the French really said they looked like. Here, all these noble savages. Made by these noble savage clocks made by the French, showing what the American Indian really looked like, right? Pendule des Nègres. It's all up in Paris. For anybody that don't know, the Pendule des Nègres, my naga, they're showing you what the American Indian looked like, feathered up with his bow and arrow. The French showing you. Uso talking the Noble Savage. You know, we done studied this over here. We studied this heavily over here. We know all about the Noble Savage. We know all about the Noble Savage, the French Empire Noble Savage, American Indian clocks, Managa, and they straight Negroes. They all nappy-headed Negroes. They're not long, straight hair, miscegenation, mixed out. Nope, they black as darkness.
Darkness, everybody.
Audio sauvage. Renouveler la nouvelle.
So we know when they talking Noble Savage, we know they're not talking about this whitewash miscegenation. We know that's a lie. That's fake. That's fake. F-A-K-E, fake. That's not a Noble Savage. That is fake. Fake. The French told you the real one looked like this. The French told you. The French told you no. The American Indian. Saw that? The American Indian. The French told you was a Naga. Was a nappy-headed Naga with hoop earrings and pearls and feathers up, my Naga. The French told you what the Noble Savage was. The American Indian. So you know you can research that yourself. The Noble Savage clocks if you're new. Let's go back to the message. Let's go back to the message. Because in Brazil, we know they trying to white miscegenation, Managa. They trying to whitewash it all, Managa. They trying to whiten it all on up, Managa. They say you Nagas need to swirl. They say y'all need to swirl it on out, man. Y'all too dark. They say y'all black as fuck. They say mix it on out, man. We trying to get it, fool everybody and think the rest of y'all Africans. Say mix it on out. I'm gonna go to old Censor Records. I'm gonna show y'all something real quick, man. I'm gonna show y'all my go one more time. To my great grandfather, Managa, Savage James, Managa, my great grandfather, Managa, salute. I miss your granddad. I ain't even never got to know him. I miss my knowing through my elders though. My grandmama told me all about him. I never got to meet my great grandfather, Savage James. See, and they got this fake. See that? They putting African American in these records. Let me show you more though. His father, Willis James. Ethnicity American, not African American, Managa. Don't believe the hijack. And all they relatives, all my relatives, Managa, they was tribing up large families, Managa. Let's go back to my great granddaddy Savage. His father, Willis, my great grandfather. This is my great grandfather on my maternal side, Savage James. This is in 1904 when he was approximately 16, Managa. Not African American, Managa, American. Managa, salute. Savage James, Managa. Straight out of Georgia, Managa, nowhere near Africa. The real Georgia, Managa. Not no European fake Georgia, the real Georgia. His daddy, my great-great-granddaddy Willis. Black American, Managa, not African American. Watch the hijacks. Where was his daddy born? In Georgia, Managa. My great-great-granddaddy Willis was 53 in 18. He was born in 1867. He was born 2 years after they told you slavery was over. He said, Naga, slavery over. He said my daddy was born in Georgia, mother. He said my mama was born in Georgia too. We ain't come from no Africa. That's what my great-great-granddaddy said, Managa. It's tribing up, Managa, in a major way, Managa. Yeah, know your ancestors, Managa. Yeah, my great-granddaddy Savage, Managa. Yeah, they want to talk this noble, savage stuff, Managa. You got the right one, Managa. Fake ass noble savage. I'll show you what a savage is. Real savage, Managa. And we ain't mixing out, y'all. I'm tried up, I'm down for mine. Hey, F the mother Nagas, I ride for my Nagas. F the mother Nagas, I ride for my. Man, I ain't trying to mix with nothing. I ain't mixing nothing out, Managa. They call me racist, I don't care. They call me whatever they want to. I ain't mixing nothing, I don't promote mixing. None of that. We preserve our own, Managa. preserving our own. And I'm Blackjack. This is House of Cards, man. We're gonna wrap this up. I gotta get out of here. I got some things I gotta go do with the tribe, my nigga. Hey, I appreciate y'all one more time. Peace to the members. Peace to everybody in the house. Peace to subscribers. Peace to everybody in the chat, my nigga. Hey, I'm Blackjack. We out. Peace.